Full breakdown on how Tragically Chill could add $4,000 in 90 days time of revenue to his school community. So Tragically Chill posts content, which I'll explain in a second what his offer is, but he posts content over on YouTube, basically teaching people how to build a personal brand on YouTube and then drive traffic to a school community, which I'll draw it out for you. So this is YouTube to school community, and obviously charge something like $50 a month for your school community. So he teaches you how to get to 1K subscribers and of course make money with the channel. So he is actually charging himself $50 a month. You can see he's got the Clover, which actually means on Skool you made $2,000 MRR within 30 days time. And he's also got 216 members within his community. He is offering a free trial for this community as well. Just kind of as the offer, kind of breaking that down. There are a couple levers, though, that he could pull to really improve his overall revenue, member count, etc., and overall just community itself. There's a couple gamification layers that you can use that Skool, at least the top earning school communities, do pretty often. And I think a lot of beginner school kind of owners or even WAP communities as well don't lean into or utilize some of these levers, some of those features, I should say, that Skool and both WAP has. But obviously this is specific to Skool. So first off, he is missing two things. One, an introduction post category, as well as a daily accountability. I believe that every single community needs an intro and a daily accountability category. So for the intro specific, why is this important? Well, if you head down here, there's a couple of things that are happening with introduction posts. One, the new member gets introduced. Two, anyone in the existing community seeing someone say, hey, I just joined, this is my introduction. It's kind of having people get curious about the members, the new members joining, and at some point, this could turn into a new member for you. So it's super important to welcome and introduce every single new member. It not only helps you, but it also helps the engagement with your community. People are welcoming in these people in, they're giving them advice as to how to approach and kind of what their experience has been. Again, it's only an overall benefit in having an introduction tab within your school community. Next up is the daily accountability posts, which I just mentioned. Super simple, same idea here. You're getting more engagement for your school community. You're getting people to offer their advice. But additionally, the way humans work is they operate or can operate and want to stay away from shame. Anything shame related, if you think of like Game of Thrones, when Queen Cersei, I believe her name was walking through the town, getting kind of shunned, that's shame. Us humans will do anything to avoid that. And this is a great example. This is actually from Nick's Maker School community. One of the best features or things you should be utilizing within your school community. Totally took that from Nick as well, which he does talk about, but super beneficial. Highly recommend any sort of community has something like this. I actually have utilized this within other offers I've worked with. That's why one-on-one coaches work so well. That's why, again, group coaching works. Finding ways to have some sort of accountability layer is a great way to, reduce churn, keep people engaged, and keep people honestly just getting results for your program. Number two is offer, I'll speak about. So currently he is charging $50 a month. One slight copywriting kind of approach I would change to this is do $47. Don't do an even flat number. People will be like, why the hell is it $47? Why wouldn't you do $49? It gets people thinking, catches attention, and you may get someone that just buys it just because it's at $47. Again, it's a copywriting trick. I just recommend it. Even if I would never do a $100 school community. Again, I would do $97. Just copywriting catches attention. Always do it for any programs, courses, etc. Yeah. Additionally, I think one thing I see a lot of school community owners not understanding is how to price their community. And there's a couple of levers that come into play with this. One is how close are they to you? And also, I suppose, like how much value are they receiving? At the end of the 30 days or at the end of the 7 days, like where are people at? Like realistically, where is someone going to be at within 30 days? Those are a couple of variables that kind of depend and kind of will result in an adjustment of your price and kind of understanding how to price. For this community specifically, I think it's great. He's already also got case studies. He's his own testimony. So charging $50 a month, or I guess I should say he should be charging $47 a month, is a great plan. I will say, if you are a school community owner without a ton of results or case studies, maybe you haven't done it before, or maybe you've worked within another agency and you understand how to execute, but maybe you don't have those case studies or testimonies, my recommendation is just to start off at either $7 or $9 and do a free trial and split test these offers. $7, $9, get people in, understand, hop in calls with them, do one-on-one onboarding with everybody, understand the problems that they're going for. The better you have an understanding on your actual market, the better your copywriting will be, your marketing will be, your content will be, emails will be, the modules itself will be. Everything starts with understanding the buyer psychology. And I think ultimately also the next layer after this is like, can you get actual results for people? If you can do it 5 to 10 times, in my opinion, that is when you jack up the price and you kind of go back to the equation I gave you earlier, which is like how close are they to you? How much access do they get to you? And where are they at within 7 to 30 days? Typically, that's how you structure pricing. And again, if you don't know, I think utilizing just competition is a good way as well. Again, this is a great example. So he could also introduce something like this, right? You have $7 a month and $37 a month, premium versus standard. What's so important? What's significant about this? If you show up to a restaurant and there is just a hamburger, you would probably want something else, like a side of fries and a drink. So that's exactly what this is. This is the drink, the combo, if you will, the drink, the burger, the fries, maybe other, something else, right? It's add extra stuff. Just have it on the menu. You have no idea. Oftentimes, like, this is the selected membership plan just because, look at all the stuff you're getting. And ultimately, what ends up happening as well, over time, you can phase this module and phase it into the new standard, as when you revamp this premium, it becomes maybe from 37 goes to 57, and it has even more things, right? It had even more features, right? So find kind of ways to have ideally you have 2 to 3 different tiers. I think 2 is probably perfect for school specific and get more complicated, but like 2 is good. And I think if you want to do a third, I think that's when you do a high ticket community that's like, anywhere between $500 to $1,500, either monthly or what have you, right? Just having that high ticket. But this is crushing for a school community online right now. Highly recommend doing something along the lines of that. Next up is the actual classroom. I think this is the biggest lever as well for a lot of community owners. I join so many schools in WAPs and I'm just overwhelmed. You've got class recordings, you've got sales calls recordings, you've got group coaching, you've got all these scripts and templates and things like that. It's overwhelming. Show everything, but don't allow them to complete any of this until they finish start here. You can maybe have 1 to 2. Maybe 2 is like past calls and 1 is start here. Now, especially if you have a 7-day trial, the reason I suggest just having 1 module that's a start here is you will be able to do a couple things. You can number each module or lesson within the module as 7 days. So if they have a 7-day free trial, you can have them complete 1 task until they reach day 7, and they should be at a place where they want to spend and drop the money on the upgrade. Ideally, and I think this is what he should do, is move this phase 2 ideas and scripting and package it, or maybe even YouTube setup and branding, over to this week 1. Get them all the way to the point of friction where they're maybe lost, confused, or need help. And then from there, have the next step be the upgrade. Super basic, it's super simple, but I just see people overcomplicating and throwing a ton of stuff out there and overwhelming people. I think he's damn near close. He's almost there, but I think a slight tweak would be a great idea for him. Additionally, not to mention, once someone is onboarded and joins the free trial with things like N8N and make.com, you can then set up email sequences. So you can have a 7-day email sequence, basically pushing people back and reminding people, hey, you're on day 1. Hey, you're on day 2. Hey, you're on day 3. Having an email system like that as well is going to, 1, reduce churn, 2, get people actually to complete it. And then ultimately, sometimes people just need a reminder for the program or the course they're on. Things get busy, things happen. And so having that kind of also in the back of their mind, again, it kind of goes back to the shame piece I mentioned earlier. Like having an email sequence is, without a doubt, a huge benefit for anyone. And honestly, again, people just need one quick win to stay committed to something. Like that's honestly one of the big components of success within a school is how quick can you get them that win. Apart from that, I think one of the things I get asked from time to time is like, what should the 7 days contain? And so I'll kind of give you one model. Day 1 should be intro, welcoming people inside the community. Day 2, some sort of tangible thing. A diagnostic quiz is usually best, identifying where they're at, where they want to be, their skills, and kind of take all that clutter and all those problems people have and condense it into, you are here, this is where you likely will want to go, or maybe here are a couple paths that you want to go. I think having the option of having like 3 possible niches or skills you could pursue is a good starting point for a beginner, because it just kind of eases the tension. And then on the one-on-one calls or group coaching calls, you walk people through like, hey, here's how I would decide. This is what I would do based on your situation. And then it's almost like they got one-on-one coaching, even though it's group coaching. Day 3, some sort of roadmap. Next would be like a calendar, book a calendar, or maybe a one-on-one. Day 5, library tour. Day 6, backup strategy. Day 7, some sort of checklist. Typically, stuff like that. I mean, you can always ideate with an LLM, but roughly I'd suggest something along the lines of that. This is a school community I've seen crushing it right now. I think they're doing over 20 or 30K MRR. So they have, again, same thing here. They got start here and the iPhone photo tech check. That's it. Nothing else. Super simple, not complicated. Next up is the money layers. I think this is one of the things I see also a lot of community owners struggle with is they're killing it on one platform, yet they don't go all out for the others. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, Facebook. Like those are 5 other channels if you're doing YouTube. Those 5 other channels probably could take an hour each, depending on the kind of setup and system you have, especially if you've never done it before. So get more consistent on YouTube, double down on whatever you're crushing on. Seriously, if you're posting 3 times a week on YouTube, post 6 times. Be more pain specific, specifically for Tragically Chill. I think his channel's really good. My one kind of criticism is I understand his audience. I've worked with similar kind of creators, and I get that the one objection people will have for this is I've never made money online. I don't have a skill. How am I supposed to do this? Or maybe another one, I am not comfortable showing my face. What do I do? And I believe he actually does touch on this, but those 2 objections are huge. And I can already tell I haven't even like been within that community too long, but I understand that that's what his audience would struggle with. So get specific. Maybe once a week, drop a video. It won't get a ton of views, but speak to exactly how you can create content without posting your face online. Or get specific on, here's what I would do if you didn't have a skill. That would be so critical. It's, again, not going to get a ton of views, but it's going to convert people because they're feeling like you're speaking to them. Next up, get on the X platform. I cannot recommend it enough. I'll even throw IG as well. I think for least amount of friction, if you're a one-man army, I'd say X is probably the easiest because you just repurpose YouTube content. For Instagram, that's another machine that, in my opinion, you should be hiring for. It's it's definitely a huge revenue generating channel, but it requires sometimes a team of people to handle it. That's exactly what I do and what I help service people with, which is managing an Instagram account. Next up, messaging. As far as welcome and exit, I highly recommend a welcome DM that pushes people to day one of that start here module, and then also a cancellation asking them what went wrong, why are you canceling, what's going on. This, I'm telling you, is one of, if not the biggest levers for any community owner. If you can iron this out, and a lot of the times if they respond, you can just send them a personalized video, they'll probably return and uncancel their membership. These are just a couple of the components, again, that I've seen within Skool communities and WAP communities as well. It's really just dialing in the basics and making things as simple as possible for the user. So these are just my takes. I did end up joining his community, and that's, again, how I have these screenshots. But I just saw a couple of holes, and I think, again, if you plan to start a community, I'd highly advise just, one, follow what's already working, but two, just educate yourself and put yourself in the shoes of a new user. That'd be my honest advice. With that said, my name was Trey, and if you need help managing your social media pages, whether that's X or Instagram, and then pushing that traffic, whether it's to your own agency or within a Skool community, message me over on Instagram and or X, and I'll be sure to help you out. So with that said, thank you for watching, and we'll talk soon.